This only can get worse. But they were definitely the driver. They were pushing it all the time.
Morrison believes Goldman Sachs made about $20 million on the deal, and his lawsuit outlines what he calls an end run around the shareholders. The firm's contract with Montana Power stipulates that any advice provided by Goldman Sachs is exclusively for the information of the board of directors and senior management of the company. Morrison translates that into "don't tell the stockholders."
Because until this thing was finalized, they didn't want people raising questions, and it would be an extremely controversial thing if that got out.
You think Goldman Sachs knew that this was not particularly a good deal for the stockholders?
I don't think they cared very much.
They were making money.
They were making money.
The final insult to the people of Montana came last summer, just days after Touch America announced a second quarter loss of $30 million. CEO Bob Gannon announced that he and 3 other executives were going to receive a $5.4 million payout.
If you look at the market capitalization, that's giving, at this stage of the market, that's giving 10% of the market cap of this company to executives who failed.
It appears to most people that they're stuffing their pockets with the last of the cash before the ship sinks, and taking the life raft off and leaving everyone else on board.
Marjorie Smeckel tried to raise all of this at the stockholders meeting, which for the first time was held outside of the state of Montana, in Minneapolis. When Bob Gannon saw her get up to ask a question, the meeting was over.
The meeting is adjourned.
Gannon spends a lot of his time now avoiding people. He wouldn't give us an interview either.
Mr. Gannon? Woo! How you doing?
And when we tried to catch him on his way to work one morning, he moved so fast,
Doing good. You got a couple of seconds?
we couldn't even get his picture.
Got a couple of seconds for a couple of questions? We just want to give you a chance to answer what people have been saying about you out here.
He is, by most accounts, the most hated man in Montana now. No longer welcome in his old hangouts, and a social pariah even in church.
He had come to a funeral at St. Anne's Catholic Church and was going to sit down next to a woman who has kind of a salty mouth. And there was just space for him to sit. And when he went to sit down there, she said to him, "Don't park your ass in this spot. I think that people in Montana are gunning for you, and I'm not willing to take a bullet on your behalf, Bob Gannon."
But don't worry too much about Bob Gannon. He's built himself a $3 million home on Flathead Lake, and he has a new 3-year contract if Touch America stays in business that long.
You know, it's the American way now, unfortunately, that a company can take itself down, and a company can destroy itself and its shareholders. But I think in this case, we have a company that helped take a state down, and I think that's what's fundamentally different here.
Touch America announced that it only has enough cash on hand to get it through the first quarter of this year, and the New York Stock Exchange has warned that it may drop the company from its listings. Utility prices in Montana have come down from their astronomical levels, but they are still twice as high as they were before deregulation.